Good Boy is one of the movies that I have been anticipating for a few months now. If you never heard of Good Boy, it's basically from the perspective of a dog with its owner being in a haunted house. This is a gimmick that's not unfamiliar before. I remember a few years ago there was a movie called In a Violent Nature, where it's a slasher horror movie, but it's from the perspective of the killer. In a Violent Nature had its moments, but overall the gimmick got repetitive and everything around the gimmick was bland. Basic story, basic plot, typical horror characters, and terrible acting. With Good Boy, I think you can make something interesting making the dog the protagonist. Also, if anyone has watched the trailer or seen any of the promotion of Good Boy, you know that this is basically live action Courage the Cowardly Dog. You have at least a middle-aged man to take care of instead of an old lady, but this is live action Courage. What I will say is that Good Boy didn't disappoint, making the perspective of a dog never boring, because as a viewer, you care. Before you watch this movie, if you're looking for a mainstream type of horror with Good Boy, you will get bored. As much as I care for this golden retriever not getting harmed in any way in this movie, there were points in Good Boy, especially in the second act, where nothing happens. You basically learn of the relationship between this golden retriever dog Indy and his owner Todd. If you're a pet lover or are into the filmmaking process of Good Boy, you will not be bored as much. But if you are a casual horror person, then it's not going to be a good time for you, and you probably catch yourself asleep. Some of the effects on the ghosts in Good Boy do remind me of Thor Love and Thunder or like Zordon from Power Rangers, but the effects were dirt cheap, so it didn't bother me. The acting besides from the dog were serviceable, and that's way better than what the other actors did in A Violent Nature. These are just a few things that I noticed that didn't bother me, but since I'm letting y'all know about Good Boy, I thought it would be best to know what you're going in for. Now, what Good Boy absolutely hits on is the performance on the dog Indy and how the filmmakers were able to make a cool lore with the movie. I've never seen a dog emote so much on screen, that's with no CGI. It's not like you're watching an obvious CGI dog like in Superman or any dog movie you're thinking of. This is an actual dog in command showing himself on screen feeling sad, happy, confused, and any emotion you believe should happen in the scene. It helps that throughout the movie you got this cute golden retriever just wanting to protect his owner, and anxiety kicks in for you when he has to face these spirits in the house. The movie really goes into how dog is really man's best friend, because in the movie the owner is sick, and throughout everything the owner Todd loves his dog Indy and Indy loves him. If you do go to a theater to watch Good Boy, they will show behind the scenes of the movie, and the fact that it took the filmmakers 3 years to get a performance out of this dog is impressive. Good Boy lives up to his gimmick by the performance from our dog Indy, emoting more than a few actors you'll see on any medium. The movie does suffer from the same thing In a Violent Nature does, with some scenes feeling repetitive and everything else around the dog being vanilla. But the fact that I cared about this dog and his owner's relationship and how I didn't want the dog to be hurt or anything makes the movie impressive to me. This is an experimental movie that I thought succeeded in its gimmick, and the filmmaker Ben Leonberg should be proud to be able to get a solid performance out of a dog for audiences to see.